He dominated Formula One like no other. Michael Schumacher didn't just rewrite the record books, he demolished them. It's a fair indication of greatness when the governing body of the sport has to change the rules to curb your dominance. Michael Schumacher took Formula One into uncharted territory. The German was virtually unstoppable in his Ferrari, winning 5 consecutive Drivers' Championships from 2000 to 2004. In 2002, he produced a year of unrivaled supremacy, winning the title with 6 races left in the F1 season. Ferrari won 15 of the 17 races between Schumacher and his teammate Rubens Barrichello. His 11 race victories was a new record. He also finished on the podium in every event and won the title by a record-breaking 67 points. After back-to-back World Championship wins with Benetton in 1994 and 95, it was Schumacher's 5th world title, equaling the mark of legend Juan Manuel Fangio. Even the man himself was surprised at the ease in which he'd ruled the sport.
Listen, my career is about 12 years of Formula One. I've had 1 year where it might, for you, have been a bit easy for me, but in the end, it is a 10th of my career, so I'm quite happy to have a little time like that, and it will become automatically more harder because other teams haven't done a great job last year, and I'm pretty sure they will do a much better job this year, and therefore competition will become harder, and then Rubens, obviously in the same team, will make my job tough as well.
The following season, he claimed the record with his 6th title after only requiring 1 point in the final race of the season in Japan. Then, incredibly, in 2004, Schumacher took his career where no one thought possible. The Red Baron won an extraordinary 12 of the first 13 races of the season, with his only blemish coming after an accident during the safety car period at the Monaco Grand Prix. He went on to set a new record of 13 victories from 18 events, collecting a record 148 points. There was no stopping Schumacher, but a rule change ultimately would. New tire rules meant teams could only use 1 set of tires for qualifying and the race, rather than the unlimited sets of new rubber, a key component of Ferrari's success. This played into the hands of Ferrari's rivals, whose tire manufacturer was better prepared for the change. I don't think I can count myself in this battle anymore. It was like trying to fight with a blunted weapon. Schumacher only won 1 race in the 2005 season, and while he battled for the title the following year, the damage had been done. As he stood on the podium after having won the Italian Grand Prix in 2006, Ferrari released a statement announcing his retirement at the end of the season. Schumacher did win 1 more time in China to finish 2nd in the title race, before driving off into the sunset with an extraordinary 91 wins and 7 world championships. Still to come on the Immortals, the tragic twist in the Schumacher story. It's regarded by many as his greatest performance. After winning 2 world championships with Benetton, Michael Schumacher arrived at Ferrari in 1996 with the Herculean task to drag the once great team out of a championship drought. It had been more than a decade since the prancing horse had been competitive, and the reigning world champion was seen as the savior. At the Spanish Grand Prix, he produced a drive in extremely wet conditions that left legends of the sport in awe. Schumacher climbed from 6th early in the race to lapping the entire field except 2nd and 3rd. The winning margin was an incredible 45 seconds. The 96 car was a disaster and was nearly undrivable. Only someone of Michael Schumacher's ability, and maybe Senna, could have driven it. But Schumacher's extreme take-no-prisoners attitude also got him into trouble, with the German featuring twice in collisions in the final race of the season to decide championships. His first world title in 1994 was claimed in Australia. He had come into the race with a 1-point lead over Britain's Damon Hill. Schumacher hit a guardrail on the 36th lap, and when Hill attempted to pass him, both cars collided and were forced to retire from the race. In 1997, he again led by 1 point, this time from Canada's Jacques Villeneuve, coming into the final race at the European Grand Prix. After running into mechanical difficulties, Schumacher tried to crash into Villeneuve as he went to pass him on the 48th lap. He was charged with unsportsmanlike conduct and disqualified from the Drivers' Championship. There was certainly no love lost between the pair, who would duel over the next decade.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him, and I never felt we are friends, to be honest, but we came on normal, I would say. You know, in racing, you have so many problems that you don't want to have personal problems with anyone, really, if it is not necessary. So I quite like it to race hard, and then in the evening, if you can, you have a beer together and have a chat together. If that is possible, fine. If not, I don't worry as well.
Schumacher was followed into F1 by his younger brother Ralph, with both learning the ropes on a karting track. Their father Rolf managed in the small town of Kerpen, just outside Cologne. It was a labor of love for Rolf, who maintained the karts as well as the track and all the facilities, with his wife Elizabeth making coffee and sandwiches. Both boys quickly rose through the ranks, with Michael starting his F1 career at 22, the same age Ralph did in 1997 with the Jordan team.
My wife and I are very nervous during races. We are always pleased when the race is over. That is logical. It would be lying to say something else. But we are, of course, pleased with what our sons are doing.
In 2001, at the Canadian Grand Prix, they became the first brothers in F1 history to finish first and second in a race. They did it another 4 times before Michael walked away at the end of the 2006 season. When he returned 4 years later, a lot had changed. His younger brother was no longer racing, and he wasn't wearing the famous Ferrari red. Instead, it was the Mercedes grey for the returning legend. He had been lured there by his former Ferrari technical director Ross Brawn, who was now a co-owner of the Mercedes team.
I thought, why not? I mean, I'm still fit enough. I'm still mentally ready for it. And I like the challenge.
Schumacher was 41 when he competed in the 2010 season opener in Bahrain, where he finished 6th. It was tough going for the former great, and for the first time since his debut season of 1991, he finished without a win, pole position, podium, or fastest lap. A 3rd place at the 2012 European Grand Prix in Spain was Schumacher's best result in his final season. Despite the failed comeback bid, the legend of Schumacher remained unscathed. He was a Formula One immortal, the greatest there had ever been. Ayrton Senna was the legend of Formula One when Michael Schumacher burst onto the scene. He died in a tragic accident during the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, which Schumacher won. Almost 2 decades later, it was Schumacher who was creating worldwide headlines after a tragic accident. Not on the racetrack, but on the ski slopes of the French Alps. An accomplished skier, Schumacher often took his family to the mountains to escape the grind of the F1 season. But on December 29, 2013, Schumacher was skiing with his son Mick when the unthinkable happened. He fell, suffering a serious head injury. He was immediately placed in a medically induced coma. The news was grim.
He
is in critical condition in terms of brain resuscitation. All of the recommended treatments are being applied. And for now, we cannot predict the future for Michael Schumacher.
Fans flocked to the site of the accident, praying for the health of their Formula One hero.
I'm not worried or anything, because I know he is going to pull through. I'm sure of it. He's a fighter. He's a champion. So I'm not worried about him. He is going to get better.
Schumacher was moved to a hospital in Lausanne, Switzerland in June 2014 after regaining consciousness. 3 months later, he was allowed to go home to continue his rehabilitation. In November that year, it was reported that Schumacher was paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair. The heartbreaking reality sadly delivered by his former boss at Ferrari.
When Michael raced with us, he was the most successful driver in the history of Ferrari. He had only one accident with us, whose fault was ours in 1999, when he broke a leg going off track. He never had another accident. All said that he was a daring skier. But it's not true. For a tragedy of life, he finds himself still in these conditions. He was a great driver. We have had together wonderful years of personal life as well. He has had children. I had children. We had years of great relationship. And I think he deserves a huge applause.